There's a weapon used in psychological warfare that leaves no visible marks, no bruises, no evidence, no proof. But it can break someone faster than physical violence ever could. Let me tell you something most people don't know. In intelligence operations, we call it sensory deprivation. In prisons, it's called solitary confinement, and it's considered one of the cruelest punishments that exists. In your relationships, it's called the silent treatment. And here's what makes it so insidious. Physical abuse leaves evidence. Verbal abuse can be recorded. Financial abuse creates paper trails. But the silent treatment? It leaves nothing. No proof, no witnesses, just psychological devastation. And it's one of the most devastating forms of emotional abuse that exists. I'm Raven. I've spent years studying psychological warfare and manipulation tactics. And today, I'm going to show you why the silent treatment isn't just someone being quiet or needing space. It's a calculated weapon, deliberately designed to break you down. By the end of this briefing, you'll understand the neuroscience behind why it works, the tactics manipulators use, and most importantly, how to defend yourself against it. Let's decode it. Here's what most people don't understand. Your brain is wired for social connection. It's not optional, it's survival. For millions of years, being excluded from your tribe meant death. You couldn't hunt alone. You couldn't defend yourself alone. Isolation was a death sentence. So, your brain evolved to treat social rejection as a physical threat. When someone important to you suddenly stops acknowledging your existence, your brain doesn't interpret this as rudeness. It interprets it as a threat to your survival. Brain imaging studies at UCLA showed something fascinating. The same areas of your brain that light up when you experience physical pain, the anterior cingulate cortex and the insula, these same regions light up during social rejection. Your brain literally cannot tell the difference between being punched in the face and being ignored by someone you love. The pain is neurologically identical. But here's where it gets worse. When you break your arm, your body has a healing timeline, 6 weeks. The pain gradually decreases. You know when it will end. Physical pain is predictable. Psychological pain from the silent treatment, it loops, it repeats, it amplifies. Because you don't know when it will end. You don't know what you did wrong. You don't know if it will ever stop. And this uncertainty, this unpredictability, is what makes the silent treatment so devastating. Your brain goes into a state of hypervigilance, constantly scanning for threats, constantly trying to predict when the danger will return. This floods your system with cortisol, your stress hormone. Your amygdala, the fear center of your brain, becomes overactive. You can't sleep properly. You can't focus. You replay every conversation looking for what you did wrong. This isn't just silence. It's neurological torture through unpredictability. So why do narcissists and manipulators love this tactic so much? 4 strategic reasons. First, plausible deniability. This is genius from a manipulator's perspective. If confronted, they can claim they just needed space. They were busy. They didn't see your messages. They were overwhelmed. All of these sound reasonable to an outside observer. They can even flip it and accuse you of being needy, demanding, or not respecting their boundaries. The silent treatment gives them complete control while appearing completely innocent. There's no evidence of abuse, no witnesses, just your word against theirs. And if you try to explain to someone that your partner is ignoring you and it's destroying you, it sounds almost ridiculous. People will say, just give them space. Maybe they need time to cool down. They don't understand this isn't space. It's a weapon. Second, power without accountability. This is what makes it so effective. They punish you without having to explain why, without having to justify their behavior, without having to engage in any conflict resolution. You're left scrambling, analyzing every interaction from the past week, replaying every conversation, searching for clues. What did I say? What did I do? Was it that comment I made? Was it because I didn't respond fast enough? How do I fix this? And that's exactly what they want. Your entire mental and emotional energy focused on them. While you're spiraling, obsessing, desperately trying to figure out what went wrong, they're completely fine. They might even be enjoying watching you suffer. Third, testing your compliance. The silent treatment is a training mechanism. Every time they withdraw and you chase them, begging for acknowledgement, you're being conditioned. You learn that your peace depends on their approval. You learn that any behavior they don't like will result in this painful punishment. So you start to walk on eggshells. You monitor everything you say. You avoid topics that might upset them. You suppress your own needs. You become easier to control with each cycle. Fourth, maintaining the upper hand. There's a concept in relationships. Whoever cares less has the power. Manipulators understand this instinctively. By withdrawing, by making themselves scarce, by withholding their attention and affection, they force you to care more, to need them more, to value their presence more. They create dependency through absence. When they finally return, when they finally acknowledge you again, the relief you feel is so intense that you're grateful just for basic human decency. Your standards drop, your boundaries erode, and they gain more control. This isn't someone who needs space. This is someone who weaponizes silence for strategic advantage. Here's how the cycle works. And once you see this pattern, you'll recognize it everywhere. Stage 1, the trigger. This could be anything. A perceived criticism, not enough attention. You set a boundary, you spent time with friends, you were too happy, you succeeded at something. Sometimes there's no trigger at all. They're just bored and want to reassert control. Or they're testing to see if you're still compliant. The trigger is often something completely unreasonable, something a healthy person would just talk about. But talking isn't the goal. Control is. Stage 2, the freeze. Suddenly they're gone. No explanation, no warning, no conversation. Messages go unanswered, calls are ignored. If you live together, they might physically be present, but completely emotionally absent. They won't make eye contact, won't respond to questions, won't acknowledge your existence. You're treated like you're invisible, like you don't matter, like you don't exist. And here's what's so cruel about this stage. You have no information. You don't know if they're angry, hurt, or just indifferent. You don't know what you did. You don't know how long this will last. The uncertainty is the weapon. Stage 3, your panic. This is where the real damage happens. You start questioning everything. What happened? What did I do? Did I say something wrong? Was I too needy, too distant, too happy, too sad? Your brain goes into overdrive trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. You reach out, you send texts checking in. You apologize for things you didn't do and aren't even sure happened. You might beg for an explanation, any acknowledgement, anything to end this painful uncertainty. Some people even apologize for being upset about being ignored. Think about that. Apologizing for your natural human response to being treated like you don't exist. This stage can last hours, days, weeks, or even months. And every day that passes, the psychological damage deepens. Your self-esteem erodes, your confidence crumbles. You start to believe maybe you are the problem. Maybe you are too much. Maybe you don't deserve basic respect. Stage 4, the return. Eventually, they come back, often acting like nothing happened. No apology, no explanation, no acknowledgement of the pain they caused. Just normal behavior resumed, as if they have the right to turn your emotional state on and off like a switch. And here's the trap. Here's what makes this so psychologically devastating. The relief you feel when they finally acknowledge you again, that rush of dopamine, that feeling of, oh, thank God, they're back, everything's okay now. That's creating a trauma bond. Your brain starts to crave their attention even more intensely. Because the absence was so painful, their presence becomes even more valuable. It's the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. Intermittent reinforcement. You never know when the reward is coming, so when it does, it feels incredible. Your brain starts chasing that high. Stage 5, the escalation. Now they know this works. They've seen how effective it is, so they'll use it again and again and again. Each time, the silent treatment might last a little longer. The triggers become more frequent. Your tolerance for poor treatment increases. You accept less. You tolerate more. You need their validation desperately because they've conditioned you to fear its absence. This is intermittent reinforcement. This is operant conditioning. This is psychological manipulation at its most effective. And the worst part? Each cycle makes it harder to leave. Because you're not just fighting the current situation, you're fighting the trauma bond, the conditioning, the rewired neural pathways in your brain. Now, let's be very clear about something important. Taking space is healthy. The silent treatment is abuse, and it's critical you understand the difference. Because manipulators will use your understanding of healthy boundaries against you. They'll claim they're just taking space. They'll say you're not respecting their need for alone time. They'll make you feel guilty for being hurt by their silence. But there's a clear difference. Healthy space sounds like this. I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now, and I need some time to process my emotions. I'm going to take a couple hours to cool down and clear my head. Let's talk tonight at 7 and work through this together. Notice what that includes. Communication, a specific time frame, acknowledgement of your feelings, a commitment to resolve the issue. Or it might sound like this. I need tonight to myself to decompress. This isn't about you or anything you did. I just need to recharge. I'll text you tomorrow morning and we can make plans for the weekend. Again, clear communication, reassurance, a timeline, respect for both people's needs. Silent treatment looks completely different. Disappearing with no explanation, no timeline, no acknowledgement of the impact on you, no commitment to reconnect or resolve anything. Just silence, withdrawal. Punishment through absence, or if they do communicate, it's vague and weaponized. I just need space. How much space? I don't know. When will we talk? When I'm ready. What did I do wrong? Silence. See the difference? Healthy space includes you in the process. I need this. Here's why. Here's when we'll reconnect. Silent treatment excludes you as punishment. You don't deserve an explanation. You don't deserve a timeline. You'll get my attention back when I decide you've suffered enough. Healthy space has clear boundaries and mutual respect. It's about self-care, not power and control. Silent treatment is about manipulation, punishment, and dominance. It's about making you suffer. Healthy space is temporary and communicated. I need 2 hours, or I need the evening. Silent treatment is indefinite and weaponized. It could be 2 hours. It could be 2 weeks. You don't get to know because uncertainty is part of the punishment. Here's the test. Ask yourself these questions. Did they communicate their need for space clearly and respectfully, or did they just disappear? Do you have a time frame for when you'll reconnect, or are you left in limbo? Do you feel respected in this process, or do you feel punished? If someone genuinely needs space, they'll communicate that, with clarity, with respect, with consideration for your feelings. If someone is weaponizing silence, you'll know because you'll feel powerless, confused, and emotionally devastated. Trust that feeling. The silent treatment doesn't just hurt in the moment. It fundamentally rewires how you see yourself and the world. Prolonged exposure to this treatment leads to complex psychological trauma. Anxiety becomes your baseline state. You're constantly scanning for signs that the next silent treatment is coming, constantly monitoring your behavior, constantly afraid of saying the wrong thing. Your nervous system stays in fight or flight mode. You can't fully relax even when things seem good, because you've learned that peace is temporary and punishment can come at any moment without warning. Depression sets in because you start to internalize the message the silent treatment sends. And what message is that? You are disposable. You're not worthy of basic communication. You're so insignificant that you can be erased from someone's awareness at their whim. Your sense of self-worth deteriorates. If someone who claims to love you can treat you like you don't exist, what does that say about your value as a human being? You start to question your own reality. Did I really do something wrong? Am I remembering things correctly? Maybe I am too sensitive. Maybe I am the problem. This is what psychologists call learned helplessness. You stop trying to fix things because you've learned that nothing you do matters. You have no control. You're powerless. You become a shell of who you were before this relationship. Studies on prolonged social isolation and rejection show measurable changes in brain structure. The hippocampus, which is involved in memory and emotional regulation, actually shrinks under chronic stress. The amygdala, your fear center, becomes hyperactive and enlarged. You develop a hair-trigger stress response. Your prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making and impulse control, shows decreased activity. This is why people in abusive relationships often can't just leave, even when they logically know they should. Their brain has been physiologically altered by the trauma. Your stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, stay chronically elevated. This doesn't just affect your mental health. Your immune system weakens. You get sick more often. You develop headaches, digestive issues, insomnia. Some people develop complex PTSD from prolonged emotional abuse. They have flashbacks, hypervigilance, difficulty trusting others. The silent treatment isn't just someone being quiet. It's systematic psychological abuse that causes real, measurable, physiological damage to your brain and body. And here's what makes it so insidious. Because there are no visible scars, no physical evidence, people often don't recognize it as abuse. Even the victims themselves struggle to name what's happening to them. They just know something is very, very wrong. So how do you defend yourself? Here are 6 tactical responses. First, recognize the pattern. One instance might be a misunderstanding. A pattern is a weapon. If someone repeatedly uses silence as a response to conflict, boundaries, or your needs, you're not dealing with someone who occasionally needs space. You're dealing with someone who uses silence as control. Document the pattern. Keep a journal. Note when it happens, what preceded it, how long it lasted, and how it was resolved. Patterns become undeniable when you see them written down. Second, do not chase. I know every instinct in your body tells you to fix this, to reach out, to apologize, to make them come back. Don't. Every time you chase, you reinforce the behavior. You prove to them that this tactic works. You teach them that withdrawing their presence is an effective way to control you. This is the hardest protocol to follow because the pain of being ignored is so intense that your brain will do anything to make it stop. But chasing them doesn't make it stop. It makes it worse. It makes the pattern stronger. Instead, stop all contact from your end. No texts, no calls, no checking their social media, no asking mutual friends about them. Silence from you is not retaliation. It's boundary setting. It's refusing to participate in a manipulative game. Third, maintain your reality. The silent treatment is designed to make you question yourself, to doubt your perceptions, to wonder if you're overreacting. You're not. Write down what happened. Document the facts. Before the silent treatment, what was discussed? What did you say? What did they say? What happened right before they withdrew? Documentation serves two purposes. One, it prevents gaslighting. When they come back and claim it never happened that way or you're remembering wrong, you have your notes. Two, it helps you see the pattern clearly. When it's in your head, you can minimize it, excuse it, explain it away. When it's written down, the pattern becomes undeniable. Your perception is valid. Your feelings are real. Don't let silence gaslight you into thinking otherwise. Fourth, set a boundary. Once. You can communicate this boundary one time. Calmly. Clearly. Here's how that might sound. I'm willing to have difficult conversations. I'm willing to give you space when you communicate that need. What I'm not willing to do is be ignored as punishment. If you need space, tell me. Give me a time frame. Otherwise, your silence tells me everything I need to know about how you handle conflict. Then stick to it. You don't repeat this boundary. You don't argue about it. You don't negotiate it. You stated it once. If they violate it, their actions have told you who they are. Fifth, prepare for escalation. Here's what most people don't expect. When you stop chasing, manipulators escalate. This is called an extinction burst in psychology. When a behavior that used to work suddenly stops working, the person intensifies the behavior before they abandon it. So when you don't chase them during the silent treatment, they might rage. They might give you an even longer silent treatment. They might suddenly flip to love bombing. They might cry and play victim. They might accuse you of not caring. They might threaten to leave. All of this is designed to get you back into the old pattern, to get you chasing again, to re-establish control. This is the test. If you cave during the extinction burst, you've just taught them that they need to escalate further to get compliance. If you stand firm, you've communicated that manipulation no longer works on you. Sixth, consider strategic exit. Here's the hard truth. If someone repeatedly uses silence as a weapon, this is who they are. This is not a communication problem you can fix with better techniques. This is not a misunderstanding you can clear up with better explanations. This is a choice they're making to control and punish you. You cannot change them. You can only decide if you're willing to accept this treatment indefinitely, because it will not get better. Manipulation patterns don't improve with time. They escalate. The most effective defense against psychological warfare is distance, physical and emotional distance. Sometimes the only winning move is not to play the game at all. If you're in a situation where leaving is complicated, start building your exit strategy now. Financial independence, your own support network, a safe place to go. Professional help from a therapist who specializes in emotional abuse. Leaving isn't weakness. It's recognizing that you deserve better than being treated like you're invisible. Let's recap the critical intelligence from this briefing. The silent treatment is not just someone being quiet or needing time to cool down. It's a calculated psychological weapon that exploits your brain's fundamental need for social connection. Your brain processes social rejection in the same regions that process physical pain. The suffering is neurologically identical. Manipulators use the silent treatment for 4 strategic reasons. Plausible deniability. They can claim innocence while inflicting damage. Power without accountability. They punish you without having to explain or justify. Testing compliance. Each cycle conditions you to accept worse treatment, maintaining the upper hand. They create dependency through strategic absence. The cycle has 5 stages: the trigger, the freeze, your panic, their return, and the escalation. Each cycle creates deeper trauma bonds and makes it harder to leave. Healthy space is communicated, time-limited, and respectful. Silent treatment is weaponized, indefinite, and designed to cause suffering. Long-term exposure causes measurable changes in your brain structure: anxiety, depression, complex PTSD, and physical health problems. Your defense protocols are clear. Recognize the pattern. Don't chase. Maintain your reality through documentation. Set boundaries once. Prepare for escalation, and consider strategic exit if the pattern continues. Remember this: someone who genuinely cares about you will never use silence as punishment. They might need space. They might need time to process emotions. They might need to step away from a heated conversation. But they'll communicate that need. They'll give you a time frame. They'll reassure you. They'll commit to working through the issue. If someone is weaponizing your need for connection against you, if they're deliberately making you suffer through unpredictable withdrawal, if they're using your fear of abandonment as a control mechanism, that tells you exactly who they are. The silent treatment only works if you give it power. The moment you stop chasing. The moment you stop apologizing for things you didn't do. The moment you stop accepting this treatment as normal or deserved. It loses its weapon status. You are not disposable. You are not too much. You are not too sensitive. You do not deserve to be erased from someone's awareness as punishment. You deserve clear communication, respect, basic human decency in how conflicts are handled. And if someone can't give you that, they've shown you who they are. Believe them. I'm Raven. If this briefing helped you recognize a pattern you've been experiencing, hit that subscribe button, because I have years of tactical intelligence on psychological warfare and manipulation, and we're just getting started. If you're experiencing this right now, here's what I want you to do. Start documenting. Write down dates, triggers, how long each episode lasts. The pattern will become undeniable. Reach out to people outside the relationship, friends, family, a therapist. Get reality checks from people who aren't under this person's influence, and start making a plan. Whether that's setting firmer boundaries or preparing to exit, you need a strategy. You don't have to live like this. This is not what healthy relationships look like, and you deserve better. Drop a comment below if this explained something you've been going through. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear, to realize they're not alone. Decode, defend, dominate. See you in the next briefing.